Welcome to Preschool PhD, Science Explainers for kids of all ages. Today's chemistry topic is the states of matter. Get ready to learn some chemistry with today's explainers, Jacob and Noah. Have you ever wondered why ice cream melts? Why a cold can gets drops of water on the outside? What happens when water boils? It all has to do with the states of matter. States of what? States of matter. Matter is another name for all of the things around us. The states of matter are all of the physical states you can find: solids, liquids, and gases. So what's the difference between a solid, a liquid, and a gas? A solid is an object that has a fixed size and shape, like a golf ball. It's always round. It's always the same size. An ice cube is another example of a solid. A liquid is something that changes its shape to fit the shape of its container, but it's always the same size. Like a glass of water or juice. It fills the shape of the cup it's in. Or if you pour it into a different glass, it takes up the same amount of space, but now is the shape of whatever glass it's in. Or if you pour it out, it will change its shape to the shape of the floor. A gas is a state of matter where the matter expands to fill the shape and size of the container that it's in. For example, the air is a gas. When you fill up a balloon, it fills the size and shape of the balloon container. But if you pop the balloon, where does the air go? It spreads out to fill the size of its new container, the room. Gases are a little hard to picture because we can't see them. Okay, but what about ice cubes or icebergs? An iceberg seems like a solid. It has one particular shape and size, but then it melts into water, a liquid. To understand how a solid can become a liquid and a liquid can become a gas, we need to know what's happening on a molecular level. Remember, everything around us is made of atoms. Atoms are so tiny we can't see them. Molecules are groups of atoms. Let's take water. Water is made of oxygen and hydrogen atoms. These atoms are grouped into H2O molecules, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Ice is a solid made out of water. What's the difference between solid water and liquid water? In a solid, the water molecules are next to each other. They have some energy, called kinetic energy. So the molecules jiggle in place, but they don't move around much. That's why a solid shape doesn't change, because the molecules are fixed in position next to each other. If you raise the temperature, then the molecules have more kinetic energy, and they move around more. Eventually, they have enough energy that the solid melts into a liquid. In a liquid, because the particles have more energy, they move randomly around each other. So a liquid can change its shape to the shape of its container as the molecules move around. But they're still touching, so the liquid stays about the same size even as it changes shape. If you heat up a liquid, then the molecules will have even more kinetic energy, so much that they will leave the liquid state and become a gas. In a gas, the molecules have so much kinetic energy that they're bouncing around everywhere. They're not touching anymore, and they will spread out as much as they can. That's why a gas can change its size and shape to fill whatever container it's in. You can see a liquid become a gas when you boil water. You heat the liquid water, and when it gets hot enough, the bubbles that form when it's boiling is the water becoming a gas. Okay, so a solid ice cube can melt into liquid water, and liquid water can boil into a gas, called water vapor. What about going the other way? Yes, it can go in the other direction too. It all depends on the temperature. There's water vapor in the air. You can't see it when it's a gas. But if you take something cold out of the refrigerator, like a cold can, the air next to the can cools down so much that the water goes to its liquid state. That's called condensation, and that explains how those water droplets form around a cold can on a hot day. Or you can see a liquid become a solid when you put juice in the freezer and it becomes a solid popsicle. You can change things between different states of matter all the time. A snowman is a solid outside on a cold winter day. But if you brought it inside your warm house, the molecules would heat up so much the solid snow would melt into a liquid. Ice cream is a solid when it's in a cold freezer, but if you eat it on a hot day, it will start to heat up and melt into a liquid. Wait, what about a golf ball? That's just a solid, right? Well, at temperatures we're used to, it's a solid. Every type of thing has a different temperature where it will change its state of matter. So, if you heat up a golf ball hot enough, it would melt into a liquid, and then it could even become a gas. But that would be so hot. Don't try that at home. So remember, when the molecules are jiggling in place close together, that's a solid. When the molecules are touching but can slide around, that's a liquid. And when the molecules break free and fly around, that's a gas. Depending on the temperature, a substance can move back and forth between the states of matter. Congratulations! You've learned some chemistry. If you'd like to see more Preschool PhD videos, subscribe on YouTube or follow Preschool PhD on social media and comment with topics that you'd like to see covered.